Hi everybody, Dr. Pingle here. I'm going to do a quick overview in defining custom surfaces within ArcScene. So this is our basic ArcScene. We've gone up here to our new map and chosen a new ArcScene. And so we can kind of pan around and look around just like we looked at in one of the previous videos. What I want to do now is add a new surface. So I'm going to add a folder. I'm going to add some data. There we go. And the data that I'm going to add this time is going to be just that California SRTM tile, which it's going to put right in place here. What I want to do now is use it as its own ground surface. So right here we've defined a ground surface of this cloud-based system. But there might be times when you want to load a custom elevation surface. We'll talk about some metaphorical terrain uses in a future video. But in this case, you might imagine that you've got something of maybe higher resolution than the global data set. It might be a LiDAR scan of a particular site that you're looking at. And so you'd rather use that as your elevation data set instead. So what we're going to do is essentially project this data. So it's not always strictly necessary to do this, but when working with terrain data, I find that my results are usually just a little bit better when I do this. So we're going to project the raster. Our output coordinate system is going to be the UTM zone for this, which is UTM zone 10. So we're going to choose a projected coordinate system. And UTM, WGS 84, Northern Hemisphere, UTM zone 10. Remember that the resampling technique does matter, so we don't want to use nearest neighbor, we want to use something better. I'm going to use bilinear in this case. You can leave this stuff alone and we'll just hit OK. What that's going to do is that's going to add a new data layer right here in our 2D layers. Shouldn't take long. So there's that exact same data set, and we can remove the old one for now. So we haven't added this as an elevation layer. What we're going to do here is we're going to right click on ground and add an elevation source. And in this case, I've previously reprojected this. You could also go into your project folder and pull out the one that we've just recently done. So however you get a hold of the one that you just reprojected, that's the one that you're going to use. Once that's done, we can turn off the global elevation data set. So you can see that without the global elevation data set, the topographic map has nowhere to go. So that's gone. You can see some slight changes in the overlap here. If we zoom in on this, we don't really see a lot of elevation, but we can click on this ground surface. In fact, I'm just going to remove this other one altogether. And we'll remove this base map too while we're at it, just to keep things simple. And then we're going to click on ground, go up to appearance, and then we can change that vertical exaggeration to something a little bit higher. That's really going to bring out some of the relief in this rendering. So here you can see these mountains start to pop up. This is the Central Valley. Our color scheme isn't spectacular here, so we can go in here and choose a different elevation profile. And there we really start to see these mountain ranges pop out quite nicely. All right, so this is just a quick lesson in working with a custom surface. If you don't want to work with the stuff that Arc has, if you've got a custom something, a different location, higher resolution, this is how you can get started on that. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.